Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris Orme, and you join me today back here with another look at Out of the Park Baseball 20 with a giveaway. If you'd like to get your hands on a copy of this game, then listen up closely, pay attention, and check the description below. You'll be able to see how to get involved. So, I've been playing this quite a decent amount over the last couple of days. And as you can see, I've actually done some pretty fantastic things. I went really hard on the trading aspect and just had a little fun to see how far I could push it. So between free agency and some big trades, we actually got ourselves into a good position. It did mean we missed the playoffs the first season, but I was able to rebound back with an excellent team that just didn't seem to want to lose. So you can see, the level of competition we had throughout the year. We had some good home run hitters. We had some good defensive players. We had some great pitching because we really went big on that. And overall, we ended up in a phenomenal position to go and, do something in the playoffs. If I look over here, look at the playoffs, you can see that we matched up against the Red Sox and actually took it in 6. So, absolutely fantastic. Not easy. That first season was so bad for us. Really, really bad, honestly. Just, I don't really know how to describe it. It was kind of frustrating because we had a good team that started poorly. And then I was thinking to myself, how do we change this up? How do we go and try and, switch things? How do we make an impact? And then it kind of came to me that I had to give up the season. It was still fairly early in the season, I think 40, 50 games in, and we'd already lost 25 plus for that season. So I started doing some trades, and we were up to around 500, and we stayed there all year before and after the trades. But what I did was I expanded the roster slightly. I made sure that I got in a couple of good kids that I thought would develop well, and they ended up doing so. I got in, for example, Nomar Mazara, who I think was playing at left field when I brought him in, and I threw him over to right field, and that was a big, big part of it because he, as you can see, didn't have a great season in 2019. It was pretty good, but it was a little bit stop-start, at times very streaky, and then he just improved nearly everything for this year and became, instead of being like 20th in the league, I think he's now top 5 in the league at right field. We were able to, pull off a trade there with Texas to grab him in. He was big. And then Syndergaard, we managed to grab Syndergaard from the Mets. And that was a big deal. That was a huge deal. I had to give up David Dahl in that deal, but it gave us some excellent pitching. And we also managed to bring in Chris Sale from free agency, paying him an absolute ton of money, but having Sale and Syndergaard as a 1-2 punch, just absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. Also brought in Familia, who we know has some off-the-field issues, but the talent was there. And so was cheaper in trade for somehow. He's actually been playing as a closer for me. And he's been doing really, really good with that. I know he's a relief pitcher. At least he was in Oakland or at the Mets. But I don't know. I felt that bringing him in, and that allowed me to trade away our closer and a relief pitcher we managed to get going. Free agency, we brought in a couple of guys. Trade, we brought in a couple of guys, you know. So we're able to make some moves and get some stuff done. And then this season, because David Dahl went out, I went after Jock Pedersen. Good, if not, if not great player, then definitely a good player. Hit a lot more home runs than I actually expected. We picked him up at the end of last season, and we did lean on him a little bit. But he did hit 36 home runs, which is huge. Absolutely huge. So between Nadeau and King, and then Mazara, known as the Big Chill, apparently. So those three combined for a ton of home runs for us. Garrett Hampson's come in. He's done well. And, he's added a little something as well at second base. We were able to move on from Odo that we brought in. That wasn't quite working out. And then Anthony Alford wanted someone to come in at centre fielder who could be, a rotational player now, and then have a little bit of something going forward. Great discipline there. That's kind of something I really, really like. So they're not going to strike out very often. Good contact, good discipline, and has the chance to become a little bit of a home run hitter as well. If he gets doubles or something like that, then good base running, might be able to get an extra one or two there. And yeah, not exactly the best players, not exactly the easiest to fit into a clubhouse. We've got a selfish player, we've got a disruptive player, we've got a greedy player, we've got something else I can't remember right now. But the talent level is definitely there. A new outfield. That was pretty big to do. Putting Garrett Hampson in there. So we got Arenado, McMahon, and Hampson. A good, solid level of play there on the infield. Trevor Story, pretty good season from him, but not great. He's fell off quite a bit. So I don't know whether we keep Trev or not, honestly. He's really good for the club, but I'm not 100%. And then we got rid of a couple of centers. We ended up with, catchers. But we got Will D. Smith and brought him in. As you can see here, National League Division Series MVP. And he won the championship with us. A good season. Pretty decent last year, I felt. Not too bad at all. And then having 20 home runs from catcher, when he's a pretty good defensive player as well, and ended up 3 games over replacement. I think that is a key signing for us right there. Plus, of course, we've got Charlie, who's my backup right fielder, centre fielder, left fielder right now. He's the old guy in that position, and I got another guy in there to also cover. So overall, as you can see, we've got some great sort of stats here. You can see the home runs sort of collecting in a couple of places. We've got some really key players, not high sort of terms of averages. Look, it is Mazara who came in, the Big Chill, with 40 home runs and posting above a 300 average. So I'm really, really happy with him, to be honest with you. I'm ecstatic with him. His slugging percentage went up, on base went up, 381. That's pretty special there, and almost 6 games above replacement. Not a high salary, a pretty good player all in all, though. And yeah, when we first sort of looked at him, he didn't look like much. But over time, Now, he's been playing at left, he's been playing at right, he's been playing at centre for a few games. But, yeah, he's really, really done well. And you can see that his scouting jumped up. It did regress, but it jumped up to begin with, and now it's sort of settling back down in the middle. I like that rather than just having a player sort of be great when you first see them. We do have a lot of injuries as well. And the only reason I was able to do what I was is that a lot of the high earners I was able to ship out. I found teams for them. I spent hours getting out a couple of pictures, exactly the way I needed to. We had to make room. We had to do a few things. But overall, we managed to get the players that we wanted in. And if you look at the high earners here, yeah, we got 3 starting pitchers. We've got 3 or 4 reserve pitchers above 5 million. We got Mazzara, Pedersen in there for the outfield. We got the infield in Murphy and Arenado. We got the closer. We got the shortstop. Charlie's been paid a lot of money. So going forward, I mean, we can get rid of Charlie Blackmon for this season. We can trade him away. We managed to save a ton of money there. We'll be able to reinvest that. I do have good young talent coming through. As you can see, someone like Diaz can come in, Welker can come in and play straight away. We'll be able to get a lot more kind of going in the future. We got some good potential kids in the organization who need time. But if I look at who could do a job now, even Abro, he could come in for a few games. And we got some role players. But really, we've got players here who can easily replace starters. And that's exciting. That is exciting. We've got a few big old names on here that were called up for the playoffs themselves. I expect a few of these to be sent back down. And a few of those will retire, especially the old veterans. But I'm really happy with the level of competition I was able to build and the way the game felt. So, this is what I was able to do. And it took a lot of time, but it wasn't far too difficult to be able to do. Did hit our budgets on a lot of stuff. So, yeah, from that point of view, I want to say, that this is a very well thought through game in that it does follow real life, but you're able to get away with a few game type stuff as well. It's a nice balance there. You're able to play any way you want to do. You can play that way. You can build through the draft. You can do sort of trades for small guys, the unfancied guys, and then go after your big name players in free agency. Or you can do it the other way around. There's so many different avenues to building and winning and being competitive that, it just means that you can play and enjoy no matter what. So overall, I think that I'm really happy with this game. I'm probably going to start over and start from the beginning again. But one of the 2 of these names I'll probably use my own save. But yeah, the key thing is I'm really impressed. And I think you will be too. So without any further ado, let's get on to the giveaway portion of this video. So, what do you need to do? Well, that will be in the description below. And on Twitter, I will post out a message with the same information There'll be a link to go visit, and through Gleam, go over there, sign in, and you'll be taken to a number of tasks to do, which will earn you entries into the giveaway. I will be drawing the giveaway on Friday morning and notifying the winners at that time, so you've got a little time to get into things. There's 3 or 4 days of space for you to get into this, so go ahead, check that out now. We will be back. I'll announce the winners in a video or on Twitter. But if you've signed up with your Twitter account, then I'll send you the key and notification of winning through Twitter. If not, then there should be some way to sign up via email, and you'll get it direct via email. So however you really sign up is how I believe I'll be able to get the key to you. And if you don't manage to, if there isn't a way to get the key to you, and I don't manage to find a way quickly, I will be redrawing. So make sure that there's a way I can get you the game if you win. So yeah, that'll about wrap things up for here. Go ahead, go have fun, and hopefully you'll be playing this soon as well. But as I say, I'm impressed. I really like how quick it runs. I like how quick I'm able to knock out a season. I like how quick I'm able to just simulate. And, I don't watch the games. I don't micromanage. I want to get through a year as soon as possible in the space of maybe 14 hours. I want to say I've done 2 seasons. Of that 14 hours, I probably spent 6 hours in trading screens. I went overboard, but 6 hours making trades work. That leaves about 8 hours. Of those 8 hours, 2 hours were exporting, converting, sorting, examining, and so on, the rosters. I exported them all out into spreadsheets. I played with that data. I decided what I wanted, where I could improve, what kind of players I wanted, where I wanted my home runs to come from, which positions needed improved depth, which needed defense, who I was looking at in drafts. I exported a ton of data there. So really, I think each season might have taken about 2 hours. Just flat out 2 hours to simulate from start to finish, dealing with news along the way, picking Hall of Fame candidates, award winners, and all that kind of stuff. Everything that popped up, I still did a whole season within 2 hours. And if I go to... if I go to the Hall of Fame voting, it's like, a month or so. But you can see there's day, one after the other. And it does slow down if it's getting some names, It's creating baseball cards now for the award winners. If it's getting you different things where pictures are being generated, because I've got those being generated on demand. So you can kind of see all that. I also spent probably about a good hour and a half on staff getting all those players in and those staff members in and making sure that they worked with one another. So there we go. MVP. No way. The Big Chill wins MVP. Wow, we didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming. And we scouted him as, 2.5 to 3 stars. And I didn't really think too much of that. But he had a big jump, and he's had a couple of really good seasons. Well, a good season last year and a great season leading up this year. So, well, I never. Okay, a bit lost for words there, but yeah, it's really that quick to do a month. You know, it took a few seconds. I got my own goals. I filled them all last year. We've already got Daniel Murphy to extension. I was already discussing that with him before we actually got these. Win the championship, build a team that can win the championship. Should be easy. I'm looking there. Travis Shaw, good player, but we don't need a first baseman. Ozuna left. We don't need one. Backup pitcher. Yeah, we got a shortlisted player there performing well. Good to keep an eye on players. What have we got here? Injured list. Nobody needs to go on there just yet, or do they? Maybe they do. Oh yes, and I need to get a new scouting director because ours is no longer at the team. So okay. So the two I really care about are there. International's pretty decent. Tom McNamara. Let's see, 5-year deal. So we had to go with a new coach last year. We're now having to pick up a new scouting director. Let's see. Ryan Burr left us. Callahan. I mean, good players, but nobody that we can really figure out anything different. Big money for Daniel Murphy. Kind of want to keep him for a couple of years and then trade him off that deal. And Pedersen comes up with a big amount of money as well. But most of that money will be, gotten back through other people. So Mazar. Yeah, big money. Big money. Yeah, so a few big earners might have to go out. But I got that balance right of the underpaid production. So let's look at these. Anybody that I can't miss on. Kind of like that. Decent contact tonight with big power. Good player. I'm going to need an extra body in that outfield. That might be an option. Young first baseman. Okay, might be in there as well. We just lost a couple of relievers, so Hisami Isubashi, great stuff, great fastball, curveball, decent movement, low control. He's loyal. How much would he actually want? So he wouldn't want too much either. Okay, I'd need to get rid of players to make that work. Bong Huang Kwong. He looks okay. Okay. Might be interesting. Again, wants a decent amount of money, but we can probably make room. So I need to find about 13 million for the pair. I need to make 13 million for the pair. This one's going to be an expensive guy. Let me check. I see he's good against righties. He's not really defensive, which is interesting. He's got good stats all over. Work ethic, yeah. Are you really going to want your 14.5? You're going to want more than that. Okay, so you probably too expensive. But Kwan and Ishibashi could be interesting. They can certainly be interesting. Let me go to the Hall of Fame voting. And I normally just vote on this side. Sometimes I vote for Barry Bonds. Sometimes I don't. But I do look at who's won the most awards. Roger Clemens. 5 times All-Star for Giambi. Todd Helton. Got to vote for Todd. Those two. Jeff Kent as well. I mean, 6-time All-Star, 7 times All-Star. And Manny Ramirez. Who else needs to go in? Who do I need to take a few players out for? This is why I normally spend some time in this place. Okay. Okay, so I'm looking for people that are absolutely huge. So Great Glove and All-Star together I like. Roger Clemens. Great Glove and All-Star. Barry Bonds. And I can put one more in there. I'm going to put Giambi. Yeah. We'll go with that. We'd go with that. So, it kind of depends what you want to do and how you want to go and deal with the controversies around some players with the Hall of Fame. There's a reason that Barry Bonds owns so many records and is still not in the Hall of Fame. So, it depends. It really does depend. I kind of flop back and forth on that. But I don't know. Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa. You know, there's some names which probably just should be in the Hall of Fame. Okay, could be a decent option as well there. Starting pitchers, I mean, Bauer's expensive, but he is pretty good. We got some good reserve pitching options as always. I mean, Tyler J could be a good buy low candidate. How much do you want? A minor league contract. I'll give you minor league. You got potential. I will give you minor league. We don't need a closer. Brantley. Out in left field. Okay, maybe an option. Michael Brantley. Although not that price. I didn't see that price. I'd much rather someone like Adam Eaton. Yeah, no, this is something I could do. Yeah, could bring in Spanky. That could be a good grab right there. John Gray's on the list. Another buy low. Offer you a minor league deal. And then Bong is in there as well. So, yeah, we can look at a few of these players and decide. I think, Ishibashi for the price is really good. We look there, Trevor Rosenthal, we can bring him in and see what he can do for us. Quite a low price. Justin Wilson could be another guy to bring in at a low price. So I can bring in my relievers through there. I've got a first baseman here, so I can make some moves elsewhere and maybe get rid of Wilson long term. I can maybe bring in some depth through someone like Adam Eaton in the outfield. And maybe get cheaper out there. And then players like Wilson, Warren, Shefts, and Romero, they're good candidates to get minor league deals. Because if they do improve a bit, their resale value will be good. Their depth will be really good moving forward. And yeah, and this guy's already got good levels of defense. So he's got a great infield arm. Low adaptability, low work ethic. That's not great. He hasn't got great stats. But I kind of want to think that I might be able to do something with him. And maybe a switch to first or second baseman would be an option there too. So this is kind of how I look at it. Just look down for all the minor league deals, and then you try and find yourselves a little bit of a bargain player. Like in right field, Lonnie, he'll be really cheap, and he can do something. He can do something. So try and find those players to really round out your team, and then go big. Then you can go after a Trevor Bauer. So yeah, that might be something we can do. We got 3 good starting pitchers. I don't think we need a 4th right now. I think if I look at the entire pitching roster, let's see. We got a top class closer, and then we got Sale, Syndergaard, and Marquez. Marquez on a cheap deal. Syndergaard still cheap as well. Chris Sale is the big one. So if you wanted to bring in another 4-star starting pitcher, we could do. But I'd probably then look to get rid of Sale and clear that salary. I'm not sure kind of how well you guys think that would work. Not sure about that at all, but Arenado, Hampson, and McMahon and Murphy. So Murphy's on a big deal. McMahon isn't. And I mean, they're close, aren't they? They're close. Let me see. Murphy says turn double play isn't great. Neither are those. Okay. Okay, what did you do last year? 21 home runs, 73 RBIs. 22 home runs, 72 RBIs. Can't turn DPs, but it's got a good arm. Okay. So, yeah, I do slightly prefer McMahon there, I've got to say. 11 years, a bunch cheaper. He's not phenomenal against lefties. It's a big drop-off for both of them against lefties. I don't feel the need to carry them both in. So again, I look at the whole thing and I think to myself, well, who can I drop I mean, Charlie Blackman, I can get rid of. I could probably get rid of Daniel Murphy, and I could probably get rid of Chris Sale from the pitching lineup. If I did that, that's 42, that's 77 million I can clear in salary. And that means I can get a bunch of other players in. So I'm not sure if I want to do that much right now. I think getting, Mazzara cheap before now, getting Hampson cheap. McMahon's pretty cheap. McDougall is, far more than a 3.5 million player. Will D. Smith, you've come in and done a good job. Yeah. I mean, all in all, we're not really paying big money for these players at all. Now, still got a couple of reserve pitchers who are ready to develop into big-time players. So we got Sutu, we got Johnson and Lozano. What else I got? So Hamilton and Kimbrell as good. Yeah. I don't need to sign another, really, do I? I don't need to sign another reliever at all. Lawrence, Pop, Scott as well. So we got 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so we've got to close up. We've got 8 relievers. We've got Sale, Syndergaard, and Marquez as our premier pitchers. And then it drops off to starting pitchers. Then it's Duplantier and Santana. Yeah, we got Castro coming through, Tyler coming through as well. And Mayer and Mercado as starting pitchers long term. I don't think we need to do too much. I do think we can lose some players. I mean, we look here. A lot of money being put into some of these players. And I think we can get rid of a few of them. Yeah, Watson can go as well. So, yeah, very interesting. I think I've got a lot of work to do if I was to continue this save. I'm not really sure I want to right now, but I'm really happy with the way my teams have played. The level of change I was able to do. And yeah, very, very solid game. Go check it out. I shall be starting up a series on this properly very soon. If you want me to play as a particular team, leave a comment down in the section below, as well as a reason why. So you could say that you want me to play as, I don't know, as the Yankees, because, you want them to be the best team. They're your favorite team. You could be wanting me to play as the Oakland Athletics to try and get them a World Series because, you really like I do, like Billy Bean's story and the fact that they got so close and couldn't get across the line. Or just one of the worst teams in the league want to rebuild. They drafted this superstar that you want to see how that progresses in the future. So let me know in the comment section below. We'll get a series up on this to go alongside our starters order series we've got going on. And yeah, if you want to enter in the giveaway, as I say, like, comment, subscribe, head to that description, head over to Twitter, enter that giveaway, and you might have a chance to get your hands on the game ready for the weekend. So, until then, I've been Chris Orme. This is Out to the Park Baseball 20. Thanks very much to the guys at Out of the Park Developments for giving us the review copy to check out and the giveaway copy. So go on, give them some love. Go follow them on Twitter as well. And as always, take it easy, guys. I'll see you back here very soon.